oh, okay, cool, this is perfect. And so I moved yours up into his spot, and then I moved him down to where yours would have been. That's
Sick.
Tight.
So, all right. So, Brad, were you here? Well, go. Or did I just tell Matt what we're gonna do?
No.
What?
He put the other can right back where he just took
There's some. It's not empty. It's there's a little in there. Why did you want to move it?
Dude, the second you turned your back, he put it right back.
But here's the funny part.
It's beautiful.
It's like, let me ask you something. When he said it's not empty, how much do you think's in here?
I mean, not empty. Not empty is a wide range of. I'd love to.
As soon as you touch this, you're gonna be like, you're gonna be like, what the fuck? Like, you grab it. You're like, it's empty, bro. Like, this shit's empty. Drink that. That shit's empty.
Do you ever go to your wife and be like, "You want some Coke?" And you like this one.
No, but I had one of Matt's friends came on my podcast, and he started talking about dad tax. And I was like, what the fuck's the dad tax?
You sent me that one. Yeah.
He goes,
great.
you know, that's when like you take your kids' shit, like, you know, off their plate.
Yeah, you
like,
eat the
pay for
half-eaten
that, you know
peanut
what I mean?
butter
I
and
was like,
jelly.
wow,
Yeah.
I didn't know that was an option.
So
Like,
I will never make a request about this podcast ever, but can that exchange make something?
oh yeah.
You taking the can away and then Brad totally
You just need the video clip.
totally innocently putting the exact same thing back and me making a big deal out of it that no one would have noticed.
I literally put it there and like turned it the right way.
I just love that he threw it away and he threw it right back. It was beautiful.
All right.
It was beautiful.
Who wants to go first?
Hey, I need to know what's the name of those games you have, because me and Gabby were looking to get some just random.
They're called tabletop. These are called tabletop.
Tabletop.
The
The
other
other one I thought was called
Unpack That.
Unpack That.
That's some heavy shit to be doing with your fucking wife, bro. Like,
you think so?
Carrie, you want to go? Do you want me to go get the real questions out of that fucking box? Like the shit I was giving y'all was fucking layups.
And we did was it Cards Against Humanity one night? Law at my house, and I'm like, well, we'll never do that again.
Yep.
There's also an app that's called like Cards or blah blah blah, or it's some kind of thing. And it's the same kind of thing. It's questions to you, and you ask your spouse or partner like what they think about whatever, just to spark conversation.
Yeah.
Tabletop and Unpack That, you said?
Table topics.
Table Topics has a bunch of shit. Like they have a bunch of subjects. They do like sports or whatever else. Like it's stuff that restaurants use, I guess. But then Unpack That is basically like they call it therapy in a box.
Oh, well.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, dog.
Finish your
What about
marriage book
that?
first.
Yeah.
All right. So who wants to go first?
On shoot or on three?
Shoot.
All right.
I'll go first.
Okay. Did you win or lose right now?
I don't know. Actually,
Okay. Well,
Usually
would you like?
the
Would you?
loser
Okay.
goes
Hang on.
first.
Hang on.
I'm
Would
going.
you
Whatever,
like?
it's your
Would you
pick
like the
then.
question or would you like to pass?
Let's do it.
All right.
Okay. Oh, which is more important? The
Size or girth? With length or girth?
It's the motion of the ocean. Which is more important? The respect of your children or your parents?
Children.
Children.
So you don't give a fuck about the respect for your parents have for you?
No. Oh, well, I mean, yes, but in this
No.
context, no.
That's I'm asking. Wait, the question is, which is more important?
Kids.
Okay, that they respect you.
Yes.
Yep.
You just not even say you just.
No, yeah, kids, 100%.
Kids.
Because I think after a certain age, you can disagree with your parents, and that's okay.
And from a different angle, there's only one of me. I got 3 of them little children. So like them respecting one person versus 3 people respecting a person.
All right, so this is how we're gonna do this. Y'all gonna play one round of rocks. Like if y'all tie, then obviously you do it again. But whoever wins gets to decide if keep or pass.
Got it.
Yeah, I
All
like
right, so
that.
go.
Okay, on shoot. I'll take it.
Okay. Oh, this is pretty easy. You want to do? You want to just do the one that I got? Yeah, you know what? Let's do it. Okay.
If it's a throwaway, we'll just
we can always go to the next one. There's no guarantee.
we can run to that whole deck.
Where would you choose to live if you had to leave this country?
Yeah, it's a layup. It's Mexico. 100%.
Is that because you feel like you have an in because your wife is Hispanic?
No, I also fucking love Mexico. Love the food.
No, you love the tourist parts of Mexico.
No, I've been in Guadalajara. It's nice. It is. It's nice.
And he goes, it's nice. It's nice. You know what I mean? Like,
He's convincing himself.
I probably had the
for
best.
a white person, I would live there.
Yeah, exactly right. Exactly right.
I probably
followed
had
you.
the best Mexican breakfast buffet ever in like basically this person's backyard. That you'd go in, you'd eat, they'd give you a bill. It was amazing.
Mexico would not make the list for me.
No?
No. What was it?
Hey, let me. Okay, wait, yeah, I can go back in. But let me tell you this. So my guy Jeff plays basketball in
Yeah.
Mexico, right? And man, I've had some really great experiences, kind of like what he's talking about with him in these really small cities. It's really cool how they kind of all like support each other.
Oh,
Would that be
absolutely.
fair?
Yeah,
right.
for
You know
sure.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Very
And that's
strong
that's
community.
definitely not something we have here. And I don't know if it's because maybe possibly they have less, and so they're more supportive because
Yeah.
they're more of a community.
100%.
But like, you know, what does that say about us? Kind of sucks.
But have you seen like any of the well-to-do places in Mexico?
like, what do you mean?
Like maybe you picture it's either a resort or poverty, but there's a vast in between, obviously.
yeah, I feel like it's a lot like here. I mean,
yeah, it is. And so like when you
mine is the cartels killing people every single day.
but I'm not going to those parts.
It's
Yeah.
everywhere.
Well, I mean, but like, I mean,
Like the cartels are in the government. They are, I mean, there is no escaping it.
Well,
the
it is-
the reason why the tourist places are so safe is because the cartels shake them down for money. Like, you keep giving us money and we won't come mess your place up.
and you do see trucks full of armed guys driving
That are
around.
not from the military.
Yeah. I think that's the thing though. Like if you're living a normal life, you're not that guy. You know what I mean?
It is, and that's what's weird and that is like I hate to give them credit, but that's the genius of the cartels is they have infiltrated their way into regular life. Like they will pay people to just live a normal life. And when the authorities come in, they're like, oh no, yo no sé, like
Hey.
that kind of deal.
look, I don't want to get into some discussion about this, but if for any fucking reason you don't think that's the same shit that goes on in our fucking country,
Oh, for
you
sure.
are blind and fucking
Yeah,
dumb.
it's just not as over.
Well, we just assume that like it's better because we're fucking here,
yeah,
but it's no better.
no,
It's,
we just have gangsters in suits here.
It's just, I mean, like it's just different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like nobody's winning.
Yep.
All right.
It's
Yeah,
a big. What's the saying? It's a big club, son, and you ain't in it.
This ain't no country club either.
That's right.
All right, rock, scissors, paper.
Oh, we can just keep rolling.
No, look. I'm doing. Hey, whose podcast? Shut the fuck up. Whose podcast is this? You gonna take it?
Yep.
All right.
I
This
feel
is-
like we're
this
just
is-
gonna
hey.
take it every time.
So a while
So
ago,
winner takes. That's it.
So a while ago, Brad, I just want you to know. So a while ago, like I was like debating whether to ask this question, and I saw the next one. And I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna trust that there's not coincidences, and that something's gonna put this like in the path that I wanted to. And so the next question is, so Matt's gonna get it because he asked for it. Okay, you ready for this? What would you most like to ask God?
Oh wow.
Dun dun dun.
What would I most
That's not a
like
coincidence, by the way. That just happened.
to ask God?
That's a deep one.
I made that happen by not asking Brad.
The number one question that I would like to ask God.
I know what I would ask him, but you go. This is your question.
Man. There's a lot there. Wow. I've actually never even thought about that.
You know what's funny is I would fancy myself as a believer,
Mm-hmm.
right? But my girlfriend does not.
Mm-hmm.
And she always asks me the same question all the time. And a lot of times I think me and you've maybe discussed it, but like, she's like, why would God let people suffer?
Right.
I mean, I think that's the way, and I kind of already know that I have a logical answer to answer it, but at the same time, it's like, man, like, but you got like, like people still have to suffer. Like they
Right.
still have to do that. Like I get why, but like it
And
still has to happen, you know?
it's so I think I really do. I feel like because I'm assuming this would be I'm still here, but I have access for one answer, right? Like I'm not going anywhere. Like I'm not
Like
going to.
it's like somebody slips you his cell phone number.
Yeah. Okay. So in that instance, the number one question for sure I would ask him is, what do I say when we live in a fallen world just isn't good enough? You know what I mean? Like,
What do you mean?
so I'm gonna, whew, dudes know when they're going to cry, and it snuck up on me. It almost got me. One of Audrey's best friends, little girl, is 7, and she has a mitochondrial disease. It is a life-shortening disease, and she has recently had some pretty severe relapses. Anything can set her on a reverse course. So she was making incredible progress. Her speech was getting better. She was walking with just, those kind of ankle braces. And COVID, no COVID, or I think she did end up get COVID at one point, but was fine. But anything a severe bout with allergies, anything could just spiral her system way, way down. So has regressed pretty significantly recently, and she's going to have to get some MRIs and other stuff. And just the anesthesia alone could shock her system enough to where she'll, could be a vegetable for however much longer she has. Like the longest person that has made it with this disease, I think, is 21 is the longest it's been. Luckily, Courtney, her mom, is a very strong believer. Puts me to shame. And most people I know, in the face of this thing, just hurt how faithful she is incredible. But when someone says, why is this happening to my child or to this kid or whatever, the answer is because we live in a fallen world, right? The introduction of sin with Adam and Eve and all that, and God's creation was then tainted, and there's consequences for that. And we, being descendants of them, are bearing the responsibility, right? So that is the scriptural answer: is we live in a fallen world. That person doesn't care. You know what I mean? So that would be my thing: is when you say we live in a fallen world and that's just, what we were given, and they go, well, that's not good enough. There have been moments in my life where that's not a good enough answer, right? I get it. I understand it, but that's not a good enough answer. So when that type of thing is happening, what is it other than, oh, we live in a fallen world, because it can be kind of almost dismissive, right? Now there's faith tied to that, and you can balance it and temper it, but that would be my thing. Like when they say that's not good enough, what is the response then? I think would be the number one thing I would ask.
Shit hits people.
Can I ask you, like, does any of that make you reflect and give you perspective on your own kids and how lucky you are?
Me and Gabby have had like a grateful attitude forever. If I took anything out of religion from Gabby, because she's made me more religious, it's been gratitude.
Yeah.
And just
thanks,
it would be to that great guy.
Yeah.
So that's just applied more and more and more every day that goes by, that we're healthy, we're happy, that everything's okay.
Gratitude.
Man, I don't even know where we started.
Gratitude.
God bless. God bless for sharing. All right, y'all got rock, scissors, paper this fucker. What are y'all doing?
Oh, fuck. He's got to put his drink down.
Yeah, buddy.
All right, you passing or you giving?
I'm taking. Always taking.
Yeah, we're just going to take whatever you got.
What would you miss most about your home if you moved? My mic's giving trouble.
No, that's just what you do. You just constantly adjust it. That makes you look more official.
Some headphones.
Oh, he's going to say something important.
No, I would just say memories. It was our first home. We had both of our kids there.
Did you make both your kids there?
Yeah.
I mean, you could like.
There's
My-
that smile.
No, well, look, I'm going to be honest. My daughter was made in Vegas. We've tracked it back.
Oh, yeah.
Like she was made in Vegas, which is very appropriate. But I mean, all three of your kids made it home.
Yes.
Man.
Yes.
Wait, are you sure?
Yes.
I thought
Look, Brad's
I
already
thought
calling
number
you
3
out.
was on vacation back home. I thought there was a story.
No, Brandon. We always make fun of Brandon and Lauren. We tell everyone that they got pregnant in my parents'
Oh,
basement.
that's what it was. Brandon and Lauren. Yes.
She was pregnant before they got there, and didn't know it. But I'm like, oh well,
Well, like, hey, so like, look, so we went to Vegas with Erin's mom to celebrate her birthday, and like that's the trip where it's pretty much the same. And so Erin's mom's like, "Oh, y'all did it for my birthday," and I was like, "That's weird.
Yeah.
Like that's weird to say.
Let's
I
not
did it
say
for your
that ever
mom's
again.
birthday."
You
Anywho.
must be some terrible gift givers if you had to go.
I mean,
Go to that
deep.
extreme.
Did you even answer? Did you? What would you miss most about your home if you moved?
I think
Just the memories?
The memories in and of themselves.
Matt, you want to
yeah.
jump in on this? No, great. Okay, cool.
Yeah,
All
I
right.
mean, like that's what I said earlier. Like it's just 4 walls and a roof, man.
Hey, okay, rock scissors paper.
I'm just gonna pick the one on top. We are both committed, just taking whatever.
No,
we
yeah,
got.
but we got who gets it first.
Thank you, Brad.
Whoa.
Man, he's all like, "Hey, don't be
I'm
willy
too
nilly
fucking
and
slow.
4. 1, 2, 3, go. I'll take it.
What quality do you think is most important in a marriage?
Quality.
Brad, what is quality?
Yeah. And how does that make you feel? What is the number one quality in a marriage?
You want me to be really stupid about it and like seem like I'm plugging something, but I'm being very honest. Like I really need my partner to be 100% herself.
Oh yeah.
Like for me, it's a her for herself, like all the time. Like I need her to be just 100% honest with me, so that we can like. I don't give a fuck if my feelings get hurt. Like I'm not here for my feelings. I'm
Right.
here about making our relationship work. So like I need you to tell me what the fuck's going on. I want to guess shit,
Yeah.
and that's mine.
I feel like, and I'm going to frame it
I'll
in
jump off
the-
my box.
Yeah, I'm going to frame it in the context of, because we are parents as well. I would say that the number one quality is, and this is scriptural for me. Not for me, it is scriptural. So that for me has a lot of value, and it is putting your spouse above the kids. So it's the covenant of marriage supersedes and exceeds all other type things.
Well, it kind of, it's a little bit of like, you got to put your mask on before you can like help other people.
Right.
But your relationship with your spouse, if you choose to raise your kids in that fashion, needs to be solid before
Yeah.
you fucking start worrying about their shit.
100%.
You know what I mean? Because like
Absolutely.
they're just gonna pick up so much more from what you're doing than you could ever tell them.
Yep.
Like I'm fucking wilded out about how much my daughter knows that I don't fucking tell her.
Exactly right.
Like shit, I'll go like da, and she'll just go do it. I'm like, how the fuck does she know what that word meant?
Yep.
Like we've never discussed that before.
Yep.
But she's just taking in so much information.
Yeah. And then especially when you talk about, again, like making sure that you're valuing and putting your spouse above everything else. Your spouse comes before work. Your spouse comes before the kids. Your spouse comes before your parents. Your spouse comes before everything. God, spouse type of thing, right? If that's not solid, it's just going to lead to cracks, and it's going to lead to gaps and blind spots where arguments are going to come just from you guys not putting each other first. And all the negative, if the negative starts to creep in and the kids see it or hear it, even if it's not directed towards them, I've heard a stat that it takes 10 positive affirmations or 10 positive things to counterbalance one negative. So if they see a negative interaction between mom and dad, if you guys aren't prioritizing each other, there's going to be multiple more negatives before there's ever enough, 5 positives or 10, especially 10 positives to kind of wipe that slate clean in the eyes of their kids.
I went to Erin and I said, I go, look, if we disagree, if I disagree with you on something that's like really small, like if we kind of just haven't discussed it and maybe something stupid or whatever, in the moment when it's happening, I'm just going to roll with you. I'm going to support you. And maybe I bring it up or maybe not. But I go, if we come across like something major in the moment that like, I'm like, fuck no, like on some level, we need to have like a solid front, but then I need to like talk to you about that probably ASAP of like what we're going to do, like moving forward and stuff
Right.
like that. Brad, you have a daughter, right?
Yep.
Okay, I was just making sure. I wanted before I said this. I think I told you. I think we said this in private or said it on the podcast. Hey, guess what, fuckers? Your daughter's going to marry a version of you.
Pretty close, yeah.
So if you treat your wife like shit, guess what? She's going to look for a dude that treats her like shit.
Yep.
So you better fucking think about that before you do anything. And I think about that all the time.
Yep.
I want to set the best example of a partner to my wife.
Yep.
And a guide to my daughter as I possibly can.
Yeah. I feel like there is a lack of 4 words in parenting and family dynamic.
No.
Because
Okay.
I said so. Those 4 words as a parent, that's it. Like your no's are powerful. Like a no is a complete sentence when you're talking about work or relationships or whatever. No is a complete sentence. Hey, Matt, I need you to do this. No. Why? No. Like that is a complete sentence. It's the same thing with your kids. Like, well, why? Because I said so. Period. There is nothing past that. We don't have to. You just don't even waste your breath.
Well, I
and I
kind
feel
of
like
look
parents
at
are getting away from that kind of stuff.
Well, look, I agree. I also like tell my daughter, I go like, and I like she's 2, and I tell her this. I go, look, I have been on this planet longer than
That's
you.
right.
Okay. And it's my job to make sure that you get through this first half of your life. So I know you don't understand right now, or maybe you disagree, but understand this is for your best interest because this is why I'm here.
That's right.
I decided to have sex with your mother. You didn't sign up for any of this. And so I have a responsibility to make sure that you're not a piece of shit.
That's right.
What the fuck am I talking about?
I definitely believe in setting the boundary. But I believe that no can come with an explanation.
Yeah.
Like, I think they need that kind of context. If it comes across as because I said so, like, I almost view it as like, because whatever you think isn't good enough to convince me otherwise, or isn't a reason, but you have to educate them about why. Like, that's what we take in. Like, set the boundary, but educate why it's there.
Yeah.
At a minimum, validate your kid's feelings.
Sure.
You know what I mean? You can go like, hey,
You can be mad about this as much as you want.
You're like, you can get mad and fuck no.
Yeah.
But like, I understand like why you'd be upset.
So, okay, every generation corrects for their parents' mistakes. I heard no. I heard because I said so. I heard just go to your room. And I feel like that was the previous generation's response, which there's nothing inherently wrong with it. You know, that's the way they chose to handle the situation. But I feel like what it does do, there is a pendulum that swings back the other way that says maybe now the child doesn't know how to process emotions. They didn't have a parent to walk them through that, to make them understand why the answer was no, or why their reaction wasn't good enough or whatnot. And so our generation, maybe this is our parenting style, maybe we're overcorrecting for this, is to walk them through all these decisions and give them the emotional intelligence that maybe we weren't given. You know, maybe that's why I have a short trigger or I get pissed off at stuff, you know, because I wasn't taught how to understand why I felt the way I felt. So I think every generation has their way of thinking about things, and it's like a pendulum that swings back and forth where like you're correcting for the previous generation or whatnot. But I think at the end of the day, 100% draw the lines, but give them context.
I don't know what part we were talking about this. I think you were talking about like your regiment or schedule or whatever. And I kind of had this epiphany recently with like some of my life coaching clients, like and like putting together like this is totally random, putting together a schedule. It should just be like a outline or like a plan. Your day shouldn't be like so regimented that like if you don't make or you don't do certain shit, you get like down on yourself. Like it should be like more of like this is kind of just a rough outline of what's going to happen today because it just makes your day flow.
Yeah.
I don't know why I wanted to say that, but like that has nothing to do with what we're talking about. All right.
It makes me think about this 75 hard thing where it's like, you have to do A, B, C, and D every day. And guess what? Starting from day 4, I stopped doing some of those things. And not because I chose not to do them because I'm a lazy piece of shit. It's because I had commitments. But guess what? When day 9 rolled around, I'm right back on it.
Here, let me
Like
tell you.
it's
You may tell you why you shouldn't do 75 hard. You may tell you right now.
go for it because I'm all ears.
I think
I get the gist, but it's not.
I think when I tell you, you'll go, mm-hmm. Brad, you're already way too motivated to do that to do that shit.
Yeah.
Okay, like 75 hard is a motivator to pull like willpower out of people. You have a pretty good amount of willpower, like because you already work out more than the normal person works out. You engage more than so like 75 hard isn't like. It's just another way that you already do shit already. Does that make sense?
It's just an excuse to get serious about it. That's all it is.
I'm gonna say this. I wanted to say this earlier, but I'm gonna say a statement and then ask a question because my wife is similar to Brad. Audrey can't turn it off. She does not vacation well. Like
Ooh, that's not good.
Oh, I can vacation, buddy.
She just like she can't.
Brad can vacation.
If it's right.
Wait till we go on this fucking new dad like with me.
buddy.
Hey, wait till I go on this vacation with you. You're all fucked.
Yeah, but if there's really nothing to do, there's vacuuming or there's this or like she has such a hard time turning it off. So I would venture to say that getting someone like Brad or Audrey to turn it off is actually harder than getting someone that's more on the lazy side to turn it on.
I see where you're coming from, but I would disagree.
You think?
Yeah, I don't know. Because this is why I would disagree. If it is turned on, you can accomplish a lot. You can be very successful with that turned on like that high. But when it's not turned on, you don't accomplish shit.
Right.
And like, I think that's harder to start than I think it's easier for Brad to throttle it back. To be able to throttle back than to just ignite something to make someone move forward.
Right.
Because I see that in my training all the time of like, how do you get somebody to engage, to move forward in their life? They're so stuck where they're at. Like they just won't move forward. That's the same reason why I was like, you don't need to do 75 hard. Your life's 75 hard. You're just you're doing that shit. Like you're just like it's like 365 hard with you. You know what I mean? Like you're fine. Like
I mean, it's a physics problem. You know, it takes energy to start something from nothing.
Look, I'll give you 75 hard. I want you to go home and meditate for the next 75 days. You go home and do that shit. That'll be your 75 hard. Like if you want, if you want to challenge yourself, do that shit because the shit you're doing right now is like just fucking every day with Brad. You know what I mean? Like that's nothing.
That's true. Talking about turning your brain off or focusing in a different way. That's something I've never actually tried is any kind of meditation or
what kind of music you listen to when you work out? Like metal? You do?
I listen to like rap music when I work out.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm going to send you a classical playlist that I put together and I want you to listen to that shit when you lift.
I'll try.
And I know like what you're thinking. You're just like, it's going to be like too slow, blah, blah, blah. Like, it allows your brain to relax and think because like classical music has this thing where like your brain, even though in your subconscious, it knows where the notes are going to go to. And when it hears that, it gives it like a
kind of release,
it's a release. Right. Right. It, like your brain. And so like some of the best thinking sessions and some of the best workouts I have, the best concentration I have inside lifts is listening to classical music.
Yeah. I do my programming to not classical music, but kind of like melodic, lo-fi type music, where I can get that like secondary stream of thought going, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Rock, scissors, paper. You taking it?
Who's going to get first?
You taking it?
Yeah.
Okay. If you owned a boat, what would you name it?
There's There was a point in my life where I could have probably answered that like that. All I ever wanted was a boat at one point.
I'll give you mine.
If I had a boat, what would I name it? I would truthfully, I would probably name it I can't wait to sell this boat.
Brad, what would you name your boat?
You know the first thing that came to mind, and it has nothing to do with boating at all? SS Booty Shorts. I don't know. That was the first thing that came to mind.
That's why I'm naming my next dog.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
Wait, what's yours?
I have a boat.
You have a boat, yeah.
Oh.
And we never put like any official on it, but we call it Touche.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't even know why we do. I don't even remember the
That's
story
the whole
behind
thing.
it.
I mean, you know.
Oh, okay. Okay. Y'all rock scissors paper this fucker, and let's see how this works.
Can we at least say rock paper scissors like an American, please?
That's true. I was going to comment on that.
What am I saying?
Rock scissors paper.
That's how I learned it.
I'm gonna walk out if
What?
you do it again.
Yeah. But you know,
We're
like
just gonna pack up I'm taking my liquid death and I'm
I
out of
don't
here.
call cornhole shit like bags either. Like
don't-
fucking
yeah,
Yeah,
like
bags is bullshit.
It's
yeah,
cornhole.
bags.
However, remember when cornhole first came
rock
out?
scissors paper. That's what I said, right? Rock
Yeah.
scissors paper.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
we're not saying that anymore.
Yeah. So that's
Remember when
some bag shit right there.
Remember
Is what
when
that is.
cornhole first came out and someone was like, "Oh, this is cornhole. You should definitely get some." And I was like, "I am not typing cornhole into Google when I get home. Like, there is no way I'm typing that word into Google when I get home."
All right.
It's on
So
fucking ESPN now.
so this is one of those things. This is just be fun to do, and then maybe we'll do one more. And I probably should let y'all go home because your wives are looking for it. Okay, so I'm going to ask this question, and this doesn't have to go on the podcast. I would totally cut this out. But like, did y'all rock scissors paper for this one?
Brad.
No,
Okay.
we didn't rock, paper, scissors to this one.
Okay.
Brad's gonna win.
No, just rock scissors paper real quick, and then like,
We're leaving.
Do it.
You did rock scissors paper again. I'm out of here.
look, I don't know how the fuck you say it like in Maryland. But the state literally fits in fucking Oklahoma, or like, I mean, like Maryland fits in the size of like Austin. So
yeah.
like, get the fuck out of here, like with whatever y'all say.
I'll take it.
Okay, what do you miss most about being single?
What do I miss most about being single?
I can tell you what mine is.
I mean, I feel like this is a pretty standard, typical answer. It's the thrill of the chase, man. Like you kind of, you know, you can hype something up in your head and it's just the thrill of the chase. It's everything is new. Everything is new. Everything is exciting. Yeah, I would probably just the thrill of the chase.
This is like, I never really thought about it like this way before, but like, in my relationship with my girlfriend, like every day I'm trying to learn like more about her. Like just something more about that makes our relationship good. And it's not the same kind of chase of like, you know, like you're chasing, like trying to like get, but it is a kind of a chase of like,
It's dating your spouse. They talk about it all the time.
yeah.
Date your spouse.
But like, you know, oh man, it's such an easy thing to just go like, fuck it. Like we'll just watch a Netflix movie. It's
she
fine.
is
Like,
stuck with me.
yeah, you know what I mean? Like it's just so easy to fall back into like a kind of a bad habit of
Yep.
that. You know what I mean?
I always kind of fucking hated the chase.
Really?
I didn't like it.
That's because they're coming to you, blue eyes.
Well, like,
Smile
yeah,
for me.
dancing was always fun and stuff, but I think the thing that I liked the most about being single was the freedom.
Yeah,
Like, I could
that
do
was my number two.
whatever, whenever. I was a kayaker, I was a mountain biker, I was a runner, I was a dancer, I was a video gamer. Like I could do, and I had like 1,000 hobbies because I had literally all the
Yeah.
time in the world.
Yeah, that was my
And
number
I
two
just-
answer.
I liked having all that free time.
Okay. I feel like this always sounds like I'm just like, I don't give a fuck, whatever. Like, okay, one, my girlfriend requires a lot of her own time. Like she likes doing her own stuff. She likes painting. Like she has her own like shit or whatever. I don't ever feel like held back. Like today, like I've recorded like all day.
Yeah,
And she was very supportive of me doing that. Like, I don't feel like I can't do anything. I just have to we just have to plan it. Right.
Yeah.
But like, I also like she'll just come up to me on a Tuesday and she'll go, "Hey, I'm gonna go to my sister's house tonight. Like, is it cool if you watch Lucy?" And like, not watch Lucy, but like, is it cool that I leave? And like, as long as like I don't have to work
Right.
and I don't, there wasn't anything on the calendar, it is pretty much a no brainer that I'm like, yeah, I'm like, go ahead, like like there's no argument or discussion over that. And so I don't know, like I hear that a lot where people kind of feel like they can't. Is that? Am I like am I over at like overreaching to say that like you feel like that you can't do anything because like it would have some effect on your relationship and your marriage?
Well, for somebody who was always on, right? I could fill my time endlessly with things to do, things to build, things to make, things to experience. I will say I think it was a bit more of a learned skill for me and Gabby to like ask for time to do things. I think probably over the course of the past year, we've reached a much better place when it comes to this kind of stuff. I was doing conferences, which required me to travel. She wanted to go do photography stuff. She's going to go to this concert with a couple girlfriends coming up. So we're getting to this place where it's like, I would like to do this. And the answer is always yes. It's just, we're learning that we have to schedule it ahead of time, like you're saying.
Well, you have to make some level of like a plan. Y'all rock, scissors, paper real quick. Let me see what I can find here.
If you don't, if you say rock, scissors, paper one more time.
I mean, like, fuck you. This is my podcast. Just deal with it.
I don't do it anymore. I can't because it's ridiculous. All right, I win. I'll take it.
Okay, you take it. Let's see.
Audrey's going to have to wake me up in the middle of the night because I'm going to be laying in bed having a nightmare going, rock, scissors, paper, rock, scissors, paper.
Okay, wait. So you grew up in Texas and you got rock, scissors, paper. But we grew up in the Northeast and we got rock, paper, scissors. Is that a regional thing?
I don't know.
Like, where the fuck did that come from?
I don't know.
It could be just me. Like, I could just be the weirdo. Like,
I mean, I've heard it's not like it's uncommon.
Well,
but I wonder where it comes from.
I've never heard rock, scissors, paper. I have heard paper, rock, scissors.
Oh, what the fuck?
But I've never heard whatever you're doing over there. There.
I mean,
glasses.
I hope you can sleep tonight.
It's going to keep me up forever.
What's up?
That's my question for God is why does God say rock, scissors, paper?
He's like, worry about bigger shit. All right. Well, so we'll end with this one. We'll see if we can get somebody to cry.
Yeah.
What's the last thing you cried about? I can tell you mine.
I already
mine's
told you the
heavy as
story.
shit.
Man,
I already told you the story. My most influential teacher died. Cried when I heard it.
Oh, okay. Now I got to pick a different card.
It's been.
That was this week.
It's actually. I feel like it's actually concerning how long it's been since I've actually cried.
I don't think that's.
I really do. I think it was when my friend Caleb died a few years ago from college. I think that was the last time.
The last time I cried was when I realized that the world would beat the innocence out of my daughter.
Yeah,
that's the last time I cried. Realizing that
That's heavy.
she's going to have to fight and claw, and there's not much I can do about it.
Yep.
That made me sad.
Brad's going first.
Hang on, no. Wait, okay. Rock, paper, scissors. Is that right?
Yeah.
Rock, paper, scissors. Whatever.
We're gonna do it on the last one. He got it.
Yes.
Still lost.
He says it right. I win. That's
Okay,
what's
so
up.
You want to answer the question?
Yeah, I want to answer the question.
Okay. My first question is, do you have any tattoos?
Yeah.
You do? Okay. So, what is a tattoo you want to get and where would you put it?
Well, I mean, I'll tell you where I got the first one and then I'll tell you where I'm thinking about getting the second one. So the first one is like the super cliche longhorn with the Texas flag in it.
Nice.
I feel like it's kind of cliche. It's on the right ribs.
Oh, that's
Sweet.
right. I thought it was on your man pec. It's on your rib cage.
No, nothing on the chest. Next
you ain't gonna fuck up the chest, man.
Well, he got the tattoo pre-chest. He didn't have a chest when he got the tattoo.
That's true. Yeah, that is true. Yes. The second one, my family owned a bar in upstate New York called Europe's Bar. And it had like this Indian head as a logo. Well, both my grandparents died and they sold the bar. And like, I don't know, I just have a lot of memories there. And I feel like I say my rule for a tattoo is if I think about it for a year at least, it's worth getting because it's been in my head for so long.
Oh man, I remember that rule.
Yeah. And you're like, it's a Friday night, fuck it.
Next thing you know, Scotty's in looking through the book. That would work.
Like,
Oh, it's a tiger head. Yeah.
Hey, what if I told you it just like doesn't fucking matter?
I mean, I'd believe that too. I do.
But you have to kind of go through your process of understanding doesn't matter.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's really hard to kind of explain.
Yep.
You don't have any tattoos, right?
I don't. I've went back and forth. I haven't, because I even asked you at one point who you used to kind of
Mm-hmm.
to draw it up, but
What would you get if you're gonna get a tattoo?
it would be a kind of a all-encompassing tattoo. The base of it would be a Mariner's cross.
Like the Seattle Mariners?
No, a Mariner's cross is an anchor with a wood wheel and then a cross in the middle
Oh,
of
okay,
it.
yeah, fancy. Okay, got it.
And then, so that would be for my dad. My dad worked on the water my whole life. And then coming off of the anchor would be rope tied in Celtic knots. My grandmother was Irish, so the Celtic knots would be for her. And then there would be a pair of flip-flops in there for my mom. And then there would be some sort of police something for my grandfather. And then like a stethoscope for Audrey probably. And then I don't know.
That's what we call the all-encompassing tattoo.
Exactly right. It would be
You
very
get
multifaceted.
everything in a tattoo you'd ever want until you want another tattoo.